Welcome to Cut the COVID Crap Part 22. West Australia has an increase in death rates of 6% in 2021. But let's start out with some good news. Denmark is good news. Despite having a weekly 5% of the population getting COVID, getting COVID infection, 5% in a week's time in Denmark, people got COVID. They relaxed. They don't consider it a serious disease anymore. So their hospitals rates are declining, and they're just accepting it as it is, and they don't coerce people. And Denmark has I believe 81% of the total population, not only the adults, but the total population have had their vaccination, and they're accepting it. It's fine. Sweden, also good news. They announced last week that they were not gonna recommend vaccination for the 5 to 12-year-olds. The risk benefit is not significantly positive for that age group. Fantastic. South Africa, it's done with COVID. They led the Omicron wave, and the Omicron cases have dramatically plummeted, roughly 1/10 of the peak presently of the previous peak, and their hospitals have breezed through it. No problem with the hospitals there, and they were the first one with the Omicron wave. Good news as well. And the other good news is, if you want to know what you can do about things, if you're not in government, you can at least wear interesting T-shirts. Got many of them. Anyway, to the subject. In Cut the COVID Crap Part 13, which I published on December 5th, I mentioned the death rates in Australia already. Western Australia has 2 days ago published on their official site, wa.gov.au. I got the link below. They published their yearly birth, deaths, and marriages registered. They updated it with the 2021 figures. So in that previous Cut the COVID Crap video, I said already in January the 2021 figures will be published, and it's going to be interesting to see what the 2021 death numbers will be then. Because from 2019 to 2020, it's been very stable, a slight decrease in deaths. But in 2021, I said already in that video, if it's 0 to, let's say, 3% increase, I'm happy to accept that as random from a statistical point of view. But if it's more than 5% of increase in death rates, that is significant, and there must be a reason for that. So, in 2021, 16,106 deaths compared to 15,258 in 2020. That's a 6% increase. Why is that? In 2021, in West Australia, with a population of 2.6 something million, an increase of 6% of deaths in 2021. If you don't know West Australia, you can say like, well, that's COVID, right? COVID has hit it as well, and 6% more deaths. That's what you get. The only problem with that logic is there was no COVID in 2021 in Western Australia. A handful of cases, but their borders were very much closed. The few people that could come in had to quarantine for 2 weeks. 2 weeks. Again, they had a handful of cases throughout the whole year. So there has been no COVID deaths in Western Australia in 2021. Zero COVID deaths. There has been no flu, no seasonal flu in 2021 in Western Australia, or in the most of the Western world for that matter. And there's been no natural disaster. The only significant thing that happened in 2021 in Western Australia is that 95% of the population 12 plus get vaccinated. I guess we're still not allowed to say it, but there's a 6% increase in deaths. And this is the only significant thing that has happened in Western Australia. Can we admit now that there is a side effect of vaccinations? Not big, don't get me wrong. It's only 6%. It's roughly 850 people out of 95% of 2.6 something million that got vaccinated. So that's roughly 2.5 million people that got vaccinated. So that percentage is 0.03% roughly, 3 out of 10,000. So it's not huge, but it is significant. And I'm still saying, I still believe with all that I know, if you're old and or obese, I think it pays off to get vaccinated for against COVID. But they're admitted that there is a risk. There is um, the small number of side effects. Don't say it's 100% safe. No, it's not. There is a small chance that things go wrong, especially if you don't aspirate. If you don't know what aspirating is, then please don't talk about safety uh, of vaccinations. So yeah, a again 0.03% is not much. I mean, still, like if I were obese or I don't know 65 plus, yeah, I think it's given that you're gonna get COVID-19 anyway, given that you're gonna get exposed to Omicron anyway, you're gonna get it either vaccinated or unvaccinated. If I'm in that risk group, yeah, then despite some increases in deaths in the population, I think it still pays off to get vaccinated for that age group. But for younger, healthy kids, especially young boys, I mean, in the US they publish figures that the chance of kids getting murdered or kids suicide is 8 times higher than dying from COVID, and that's with Delta figures, not even Omicron, which causes even less fewer deaths. So again, young kids, what's the benefit of getting vaccinated? Um, I said it in a previous video already. Young healthy kids, I think maybe 1 in a million chance of dying within a year. But with a 0.03% increase in death rates, um, sorry, with 0.03% of the vaccinated population dying extra this year, yeah. I mean, there can be some randomness, but a 6% increase in deaths, no way that's random. No way. Look at the link below. Look at how it's gone up or down in the last years. A 6% increase is significant. And again, I don't deny that vaccinations can be good, but there's a huge difference between old and obese people. Definitely, it makes sense to get vaccinated, but forcing young people to get vaccinated, saying it's 100% safe, is simply not true. You got to look at these data. I mean, you cannot deny that anymore. It would be even better if those data are broken down per age group. I haven't seen a source of that. If you see a source, then please comment on this video, and I'll take it into account, or I'll even redo the video. But yeah, this is Something that, in my humble opinion, cannot be denied anymore. Good luck making your own decision. See you next time.